Hello. This week in Washington was a busy week, but one of the busiest moments we had was a very long session, almost past 13 hours that we had in what's called a markup of an appropriations bill. Markup is the final work done in committee before the bill goes up to the House floor for further consideration, final consideration. And this was the appropriations bill. I'm a member of the Appropriations Committee that deals with labor, health, and human services. And there are many issues there dealing with education and labor and a lot of issues. But the one that stood out and the one that got a lot of attention from members on both sides of the aisle, both parties, but especially from my party, was the issue of the children that have been separated from their parents at the border. Now, we in this country have made mistakes over the years, but this was more than a mistake. This was a policy that was destined to fail. And people must have known that. And that's the biggest question we have. Was this done purposely? Because you don't resolve an issue, an immigration issue like this one, where people are asking to be taken in as refugees, by separating them from their children. A lot of parents don't know where their children are. A lot of parents don't know if they'll see their children again. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm wondering how legal it is for you to take a child from the parent and then put them up for adoption or put them up for foster care without the parent's permission. So some parents are afraid they'll never see their child again. That's why the courts have stepped in. That's why we're trying to step in to say that this policy has to end. And I want to thank you, the American people, who have been so supportive. Regardless of your party affiliation, regardless of how you feel, liberal, progressive, conservative, you understand that this is a family issue and that this doesn't look good for us, and it's bad for the children. It's not just how it looks for us. It's bad for the children, bad for our country, bad for the parents. And keep in mind that most of these folks were not people who came and crossed the border without proper documentation. These are people who showed up at the border fleeing violence, fleeing abuse, and who said, take me in. Well, there's a process to take that case up and determine whether they should be taken into the country, allowed to stay as refugees. But what happened here was that they were separated from their children. This cannot happen. This is not who we are as a country. We cannot do it. We have to stop this policy as soon as possible and never, ever do this again. So I thank you, and we'll be talking to you soon.